What's up, everybody? Okay, so for today, in my curating community, I'm going to review the album that I curated for Lorraine's first, I believe it was her first fashion show. But either way, this is by Lorraine. Pause there because I wanna give her a proper shout out. So hold on one second while I pull up her Instagram. By the way, a few things I'm keeping in mind this video is to take it slow, reduce the ums and the ahs, and just enjoy this because even in preparing the album for this, for my YouTube channel, as we can call it now, even just curating it, I got excited. I had thoughts that I was like, oh, I have to point this out in this photo. All this to say is I'm excited to share this album with you, this photo album. All right. Ooh, we'll pull up the daily inspiration. Let's do that. Hold on. Daily inspiration, link tree. Man. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna find this article. Actually, I'm gonna want to keep that in mind. But what I'm looking for, so Lorraine is a designer. She is a fashion designer, a garment designer. She's so talented. She's so creative. And I honestly, I don't entirely remember how we got connected. It could have been something on Threads, which I have found value in from time to time, or somebody might have just referred me and said, I think this person might appreciate your photography, which I appreciate those shout outs, and please keep those coming. I have been more selective with the opportunities I've been taking advantage of, but I still need to get out there, I want I want this collection of albums to grow. I want these collections of creative expressions to grow so that I can share them with you. Over the weekend, actually last night, I was kind of reflecting on my goals for the channel and how they're evolving, and how what's kind of just started as me wanting to get comfortable telling stories is evolving to something that I can truly get excited about. It's not just something that I was challenging myself with. This is a combination of those things. And so what I was commenting on yesterday was maybe to feature all forms of creative expression, not just photography. I do have an idea in the works with a friend of mine who, by trade, by profession, is not an interior designer, but I've seen what they can do with their interior designing, and they've moved to his partner and himself have moved to a new location. It's a bigger location, so I can only imagine what he has in store for this property that he's going to be designing and decorating. So more of that to come. And to recap that comment, I want to showcase all forms of expression. Another reason why I started thinking that way is because I was reviewing this album that I'm going to share with you shortly. I keep alluding to, but I just want to make sure I get everybody the proper shout out and I give everyone the proper context of why I'm doing this and what we're looking at. I'm going to start the screen record now. So hold up. I'm going to do this. All right, 3, 2, 1, screen record. All right, that's just so I can sync it later. I'm just trying to become more efficient. I'm trying to reduce the barricades of completion as I put these videos out. So that's just part of the process I'm kind of sharing with all y'all. Okay, so we're screen recording, and right off the jump, I'm going to lead off with this photo of the homegirl, Lupe. Cool thing about Lupe, she's one of the actors in my friend Brandon Thomas's acting class, and she didn't tell very many people that she was going to be walking in this fashion show. So I feel very privileged to have been there, to have captured her in this element, and very excited for her achievement here. So right off the jump, I just want to give a shout out to Lupe. Yeah, I love this photo. The reason why I wanted to start here, and it just kind of so happened that I'm starting here, is this series of photos are most of the models that walked in this fashion show. This is prior to the show starting, and I don't know. I want you to take note of maybe just the energy as it kind of fluctuates throughout the evening. Because this is a big deal to put on something that you care so much about. Shout out to homegirl Sarah right here, but I feel so appreciative to have been part of a group of people who came together to put on such an incredible show. and that includes the models. Oh my gosh, yeah. And so as you could probably tell, is all I did was turn my flash on and just walk past the models as you know as they lined up. And I forget what they were preparing here. They might have been preparing for a run. I wouldn't recommend people doing this. This is probably not the best etiquette when, especially, I don't think I had met Leray at this point, but I was excited to be there. And especially since I've taken up photography, I've kind of adopted that old saying: it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I use that seldomly, and this is one of those situations. This is one of those scenarios where I decided to shoot first and ask later. This is just a continuation of the series. Here we go. I think this is just part of my process of getting warmed up, is taking advantage of there's no crowd, or maybe if it's just maybe the music was playing. But yeah, I just take advantage of times of where people, if I can get some eye contact, I will throw a smile. I will kind of throw my hands up, maybe point to the camera, point at them, and that's usually enough to get people to strike a pose, or chuck up the deuce. Yeah, these are all so cool. The fun part about working these fashion shows is, especially when they're so in LA or in a specific region, is you start seeing familiar faces, and the connections that come along with putting yourself out there. So this is one of the guys that I knew from a previous fashion show that we were at together. I should know, but needless to say, I like seeing familiar faces. This photo is very popular. I saw a lot of the people who were part of this production shared it as part of their carousels. I think it's just it's that behind the scenes to the dedication, the attention to detail, and yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. I like everything that's going on. Shout out to Lupe again. This is Lupe before her eyebrow transformation. And these are as the attendees started showing up. People took note. This was a fashion show. This was an opportunity to express yourself with dressing down, man. These people came and they showed up. Here's Lupe with her eyebrow transformation. So before, after, I think that looks really cool. Obviously, she looks great. Oh man, shout out Lupe! Woo! And I probably did something like that. I probably did I don't know. I like hyping up my friends, and so this is probably a scenario where I did that, and I was able to catch a quick smile, a quick glimpse. Yeah, these are fun moments. This is Lupe getting flowers from one of her friends. Show up, man. Show up and support your creative friends. It means so much to them. I'm not the greatest at expressing how appreciative I am when people admire my work or share my work or talk highly of my work. The best I could do is accept your collaboration. So, yeah, that's what I'll do. But for people like Lupe, for all of Brandon's students, I think I mentioned in a previous video the open house that Brandon hosted for his students. I thought that was so special, and it's to create opportunities like these for you, for the people that are supporting you, for you supporting your people, to be there for them. It's so easy, man. It's so cool. And it means so much. Honestly, it means a lot to show up for people. I appreciate this photo. This is just a colorful photo. I don't know if they were friends, or if no, they had to be friends, but because the color palette they chose is very, I feel, intentional, and they all look great. I wish these guys' eyes were open, but his eyes are closed, so it's kind of like, okay, there's some symmetry there, and it could be intentional. It just, who knows? The colors make the photo in this one, and I really like it. The yellow really popped with this guy's complexion, and the gold, the accents. Oh yeah, see the accessories, the hat, the earrings, to the lenses. This guy he came correct. And of course, I had to point out the gold, the yellow. Yeah, this is great. This is great. That was her friend. She looked great too. Yeah, I'm always excited in these spaces because I know people want to have their picture taken, and no shade to people who don't like to have their picture taken, but I'm a photographer. Like, what can I say? Like, yeah, these are my people. Again, I just wanted to highlight in this photo the the note that people took to show up like dressed to impress, expressive, like get excited for this next event. Actually, okay, I don't know if I mentioned, but Lorraine is hosting something very soon. I need to pull the date. I should pull the date. I'll pull it on my Instagram. I'll share it on my Instagram. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's instagram.com slash GMZ underscore photo underscore 213. But I think most of my cumulative followers are on Instagram, so it's yeah. But anyways, it's cool. It's a cool photo. Yeah. This is also another just another demonstration of being expressive. Like, I don't know if this person dresses like this every day or does their makeup like this every day, but I thought it was great. I appreciated them wanting to take this photo, and I think it's great. I think the colors are perfect in it. I think the expression, it matches the kind of the outfit and the look. So kudos. Appreciate this one. Another great one. The accessories are on point. I love this one. I love the willingness to show it off. You know, that's dope. This was just a position that I decided to take advantage of. I was on the dark side of this warehouse. The lit side is where the attendees were kind of in the holding room or waiting to enter the runway. Yeah, so it's just a great photo. I love the softness. I love the softness from my Leica in this moment. I believe it might have been the SL2S, because I think at that time I just happened to be shooting that more. Because funny story about that was I got the SL2S, got a smoking deal, got it for like $1,800, and then I took it out for a street walk and I dropped it immediately. I had insurance take care of it, but I was without that camera for a little while. Shout out to Leica. They fixed it quick, brand new sensor. So this camera's good as new. It works out, you know. But yeah, I think the noise in this photo is very well controlled, straight out of camera. So that's why I'm shouting out Leica. This is just a happy dude. I had to take a photo. I like the glasses. I like the silver accessories. I like the texture in the outfit. So cool photo. I think what makes this photo is the smile, obviously. This guy stood out to me. I don't know. He stood out to me. It felt like this guy was kind of like, okay, I want to be expressive, but I don't want to stand out. And I think this was like a happy kind of medium of like, yo, this is when I wear stuff like this is when I feel good. But I don't need all you guys. I don't need all your attention. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I see when I see this image. It's another angle of the crowd as they show up and the variety of people who are attending this event. I really like this guy's not just his outfit, but I love accessories, man. I don't know what this is, clearly Louis Vuitton, but I don't know where you find something like that. I think it's really cool. The shoes are dope. The jacket's sick. The lining of the jacket, the glasses, and I think what adds to this is the street art in the background. Yeah, this is a pretty complete photo. I like it. More shots of the crowd, the variety of people, variety of apparel and styles. Yeah, I think that's what's great about what Lorraine's putting on and what she's been able to accomplish. And I'm looking forward to the next show. I can't wait. Another accessory I got really excited about. This little bird cage. I don't know what's in it. Oh, there's some car keys. Yeah, this is dope, man. I really like. Oh, I didn't even notice the shoes. The shoes on the tights almost match perfectly. Wow, that's really cool. Good. This is dope, man. You gotta get yourselves in these spaces. Especially if you have a camera. Oh my gosh, these are so much fun. And I don't know whatever climax of this conversation is, I think it's cool and I caught it. Okay, so now I'm transitioning from the exterior space or the waiting room into the primary space where the actual show is about to occur. At this point, people are still kind of warming up. I think there's still sound checks happening, but I just want to start taking advantage of the lighting in this space. And one of these performers, one of the models, was doing his thing, and so I felt the silhouette was great. I did not shoot a flash. I just used the available flash that was there for the runway, and I think it framed him perfectly. Yeah, between these two, I just like, yeah, I like the varying perspectives, and I like the pose here. Yeah, it's a great photo. Oh, this is another favorite part of any time I show up to a show is the warm up. That the when that anxiety starts turning into excitement. That part of the show, any event that I go to, or anything that people care enough to have proper photos taken at. This is the part where it starts to get real fun. This is the time I like to show up. Yeah. Then this is the technique that I think I'm starting to become known for is, shooting with my flash to the left, or shooting offhand flash. So rather than on camera flash, which I feel kind of creates more of a flatter image, I like to take it off to the side, and you can see the direction of the light, and just it kind of creates more contrast on the faces, just on the way it hits the body, the shadow it casts. It's just there's more depth simply because I put my flash off to the side. So you'll start. I think I primarily shot that way during this event when I used my flash. So this is an exciting part of the journey of this album. Again, the warm up. Shout out Lupe! Lupe! So proud of you, girl. So proud of you. Look at this. It's just a cool candy to Lupe. The same technique to make it more cinematic. And then you try things out. I think what's so fun about being a photographer and being a photographer with no boundaries, or just being invited, having an invite with no kind of expectations. I'm assuming you want me to do my thing, so that's how I want to come. That's how I want to do my events. These are the events I want to attend. The people who see my work and they want me to do my thing. So I'm putting that out there. That more opportunities like this to observe different forms of creative expression, and then document it the way I see it in the moment. This isn't the way I was gonna say the way I see fit, but this is the way I felt in the moment. This is I don't really have a game plan when I come into these events. I'm not saying like, okay, first 10 minutes I'm using flash. First 20 minutes, second 20 minutes I'm not using flash. Or it's just a matter of varying your opportunities to capture these moments. That's the approach that I'm taking when I'm photographing. So why I went on this rant is because I went from shooting flash, off-camera flash, to shooting silhouettes, which I think served a great purpose here. Showing the space, setting the scene, showing kind of the excitement, and then showing my skill set a little bit. So this I just included. This is obviously a misfire, but I kind of just like the abstract of the photo. I love how soft the bokeh is. I like the depth that the light is creating. So I think this photo has a lot of merit for sure. So I'm back outside. So that's the great thing about not like I rarely shoot with a shot list. I don't think people do that anymore. Or actually, I'm new to this, and since I've been doing it, I've only been given a shot list like 2 or 3 times. And in the moment, it's fine to keep those in mind, but I'm not checking these things. I'm not checking things off, man. I'm gonna follow the energy of the event. So I think at one point in the show, I can feel the tension of the pre-performance, or the things that go wrong start to go wrong. I'll exit. That part of the show doesn't even be documented, because that's not stuff we want to remember, right? So I think maybe a situation like that might have encouraged me to return to the previous room. So that's where I'm at now. And it just so happened that I saw these two. They had a selfie stick and they were doing their thing. And then I point the camera to them, and then they start doing this, and we both win. I got these good shots. The only disappointing thing about this is that I don't know if they've ever seen these. So if these friends want these photos and you could somehow get it to them, let me know. I will hook them up. These are so much fun. I just love it. I love the attitude in it. I love the matching textures in the outfits. Yeah, I like the little pops of color here and there. So this is what I mean when I get into these spaces and people don't shy away from the camera. Such great things happen. So Thank you so much. I thank the universe for these opportunities. Okay, so we're getting ready to start at this point. So the models were ready, um, and I think they were just kind of dancing. Everyone was just dancing. I didn't bring very much to this event. I think I brought 2 camera bodies and 2 lenses. One of the camera bodies being the micro four, not a micro four thirds, an APS-C camera, and then one a full frame. So I thought I basically with those 2 bodies and those 2 lenses, I have almost 4 different. I have 4 different focal lengths to work with, if I'm doing the math right. So I believe this is me with the TL and the 75 mil. So that'll give me more range as far as distance to cover an event. So, but I'm still compact. So that's why I went that route. I wanted to look good. I remember I went shopping for this show, so I was like, okay, what's gonna match my bag? Well, first of all, which bag am I gonna take? And so that kind of dictated what gear I took. So I did bring my Overworth that my wife bought me for my soberversary last year. So shout out to Overworth. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to be Cali sober. Um, yeah, all this just from recognizing the lens and body that I used for this photo. But I just love the colors in this photo. I love what's going on. I love the way the light's hitting. So yeah, enjoy. There's more of the same scene. Shout out Xavier. Yeah, so this was the night I met my storyteller friends. You know, the last video I posted, a couple of us got together. Hold up, a couple of us got together for that photographer color challenge where we all chose a color. Wow, I just saw the score of the Super Bowl. But anyways, so Xavier's one of our storytellers. So yeah, looking forward to shooting with him again. Oh my God, I gotta say, Xavier, you're such a great editor, man. The stuff that you put out, like, do more, man. Edit, like, keep doing it. Well, you're doing it, but keep doing it. This is a great photo of Xavier. He's more animated than I think any other photographer I've ever met. Most photographers I meet are kind of like me. We're like, yeah, you know, we're not afraid of the camera, but we're not gonna act for it. Like, this guy gave me a photo. This guy gave me a photo. So shout out to Xavier, man. Yeah, appreciate you, dude. This is a cool couple. I want to say they're a couple because I've seen them again. Either way, the 2 of them together they were taking such remarkable photos. So look at this. Look at this. Yeah. I don't even think I used flash on this. Yeah, between those 2 photos, great work. It's another one where I didn't use flash. This guy was standing perfectly in front of some fluorescent bulbs that were facing upwards, so the light's hitting him perfectly even. You can see it in his glasses here. It's nice and even. I thought this was just a cool, normal photo of, you know, people just hanging out, so I took it. This is cool. This is where Lorraine ended up standing while she was directing the fashion show. And so I honestly, I thought I was going to stay here the whole night after taking this photo, just because the way the light's hitting from each angles, and I was able to shoot through one of the chain link fence links straight through to the door. So I honestly thought, oh man, I'm not going to beat this, but you'll see later on, it always serves me better to move to, you know, you could always try to return to a position. However, like, I'm not going to sit there and get, yeah, that's the worst thing you can do to me is stick me in one spot. So this is from the same angle of Lorraine's primary garment that she wore during the event. Very cool piece. I like the way that it's been presented here, and I like the photo that I took of it. So shout out Lorraine. Yeah, and then another reason why it's good to show up early. Everyone needs to get warmed up. And I think this was just an opportunity for this person to get warmed up for the fashion show. They were totally willing to stand in front of me. In front of my camera, and they saw an opportunity, and we made magic. I don't even think we said anything. I think I might have just been like, my go-to is like, yo, camera. I got the camera, and then I let them take that for what it is. You see me, I have a camera. Do something. And usually it doesn't take much, and it's really cool, especially when the lighting's like, oh yeah, shout out to Lorraine on the lighting choice. this is cool because I kind of, even though the garment, she's not wearing the garment, I kind of feel like the garment's it's clearly the center of attention because it's in focus, but it's also like in charge in this photo, if that makes sense. I like the way this photo came out, is what I'm saying. And I like this garment. All right, so more people are showing up. Again, the crowd came ready. So I can't wait to see the next show. Oh yeah, this photo of Lorray, I think this is why I was supposed to be there tonight. This photo of Lorray entering the chain link cage that she created for herself to direct the show. And yeah, I think this is a great photo. You could put this photo on a baseball card. You could put this on a poster. You could put this on a coming soon theater poster. Like, I like this photo. Another angle of the primary garment that she wore. All right, here we go. We're getting into the show. So this is what I mean when I quickly decided that I couldn't stay in one spot. This is just to the left of the chain link fence. Having a clear shot of this model, I had to have that expression. I have to move. I love that shot. I love this shot. I love how balanced it is, but I also love the way the light, that she's very clearly the subject. Yeah, the light's hitting her. I think the light is shining directly on her and just enough on the background and the foreground so you see everything. This is the perfect environmental event portrait. That's what this is. You get the whole wardrobe in there. Yeah. Here's Lorray. As what I describe as just proud of herself. Hell yeah. Another one that I'm really proud of. I love using foreground. I love shooting between people. I love giving a perspective. Like, I'm also here for the first time. I'm also experiencing this for the first time. So this is where I would stand. This is how it would look if I were an attendee. I just happen to have a camera. And speaking of attendees, I like this photo because I got this couple perfectly framed in between two chain link fences. So this is the corner. This is the corner of a chain link fence. So I shot this way. So I had to get it perfectly through both chain link fences, and I just got them centered. So I thought that was pretty cool. This one I like because I like the expression on his face, looking towards Lorray. This one, magic. It's just magic. Look at that expression. Look at the framing. Lorray still in. This is her show, but she's also letting him do his thing. This is so good. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so good. Woo, it's another good one. I love productions. I love events that I don't have to concern myself with lighting because it's such an art. Obviously, I don't mind using flash and I can get creative with flash, but when I could pump that shutter speed, I could make my images as sharp as possible because I know I have a continuous light facing from various angles. And all I need to do is move. I'm so happy. Oh, I like this shot. There's Sarah. Shout out Sarah, Lorray. I think it's a cool shot. It's another good shot. I could be more descriptive, but what else is there to say? Look, you guys are seeing this just in real time like I am. Look at this. I think this is a great shot of the garment. Yeah. I love yeah. Look at where this is. It's a warehouse. It's creative, it's resourceful. This whole thing, this whole event. Shout out Lupe! I think Lupe actually comments on this photo that she liked this one especially. So shout out Lupe. Yep. This is just, I don't know what you call this. It's just an opportunity. I look to my left. We made eye contact. It looked like they weren't going to shy away from the camera, so I pointed in that direction, and I think I got a good photo. This is just my thought process in the moment, at least what I imagine my thought process was in the moment. Okay, so this part of the event is Vegas, his performance that he actually used part of this performance in his music video. Shout to Vegas, man. This was kudos to this. And I'm so happy I was there to capture this part. This music video came out really great. And just watch as this series of photos progress. Just watch. Okay, all right. All right, so something's about to happen, right? Okay, oh wait, the lights are turning off. What is about to happen? And like literally cameras after cameras, we're all watching, we're all waiting. Boom. They come to life. I was so excited. Like when I was reviewing these later in that night, I was so hyped. These photos get me so hyped when I get home, and this is what keeps me up. This is so cool, you guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's review that again. Let's go back again. Okay. All right. So still in the Rays designs, still directed. So we got four cameras that we know of, and then up the performance of a lifetime. So good. They're so creative. These light up mouth joints that they had, like so cool. I got lucky with the lens filter that I used. My Voigtlander 75 has a very small lens filter thread diameter, so I only had one, and I always have a lens filter on my lenses just to protect them, and so this is the only one I had. And the funny thing about this is it's directional, so you could turn it to where the lights could be portrait or landscape. I got lucky; they happen to be landscape, and they put the part I think they added to the scene very, very nicely. It also has like a softening effect on the highlights of the lights. Yeah, I just think this moment came together. This was kismet. And then we went back to the show. So I've corrected the order of my albums for a while there. I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but now that I'm reviewing these live, I had two camera bodies. The times weren't synced, so this is why some of these are out of order. But again, back to the just honestly, I didn't intend to bring that lens filter or have that lens filter, but the way this show was lit, and these things just come together. I think that's what I'm learning. That's what I've learned about photography. It's just you're really just trying to improve your chances of getting lucky. That's all it is. And then you curate from there. Yeah, look at this. Look at this, man. I shot this with a 75mm prime lens, a manual focus, M mount Voigtlander. Yeah, manual focus. Shout out to Uma. Shout out to Xavier. Storytellers. I just thought this was a cool photo. When I was curating this, I had a thought that I'd like to share. If you're a model, if you're a performer with a little bit of free range, do something exciting, do something fun. Walking is cool, looking fierce is cool, but when you do a little jump step or something, that's gold for someone like me. Do something. But listen to your directors also. Listen to your directors. I like how the dog's part of the accessory here. That's really cool to me. Yeah, another great photo with the lights hitting him very well. Okay, so this part of the album is a mixture of pre, during, and post. But the difference is I shot this on my Leica TL, which is Leica's APS-C crop sensor camera line. Yeah, I hope I described that well enough. But what you'll see here, it looks like is more contrasty, deeper blacks, a little more saturation. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I don't know, but still. Oh, what I did do with the TL is I did do off camera flash as well on this. So I think that's what, yeah, that was the trick here. Oh, and then also shooting at a slower aperture, like f5 or something, and then having someone like Xavier willing to pose for you. This just, yeah. These were people. I think I don't remember him walking in the show, so he might have been an early attendee or a friend of one of the models or something. But either way, this guy against the back wall, a blank wall. I thought it was cool. And then I think the grain and the overexposed, the blown highlights around him. I think it all adds to the character of the photo. Yeah, and I always do. I try to do close up in the full body. It's the same thing. This guy, he's probably moving a little more than the last guy, but also had a great look. So definitely wanted to include him. And then, yeah, I don't even know what he was doing there, but I think it's cool and it fits the look, honestly. There's another cool one. I believe, yeah, for sure this guy was in the show. I love the character that this, it's a 16 megapixel camera, crop sensor camera, so you're not going to get as much background blur. But in a scenario like this where I'm using off-camera flash and shooting f5 plus, like this is the kind of look I want in a photo like this. So I'm glad I brought that camera. I should take it out more. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this is the warm-up when people start feeling it, people start getting excited, the anxiety turns to excitement, and it just turns to fun. This is cool. I love the symmetry behind it all. I love taking pictures of people taking selfies. I think this is just cool because of the framing between the two people here and the focus in the middle. And then black and white. I probably did black and white because I couldn't control the highlights or I was crushing the darks or something. But that's my fail-safe, black and white. This I like because the two girls are going different directions, but then we have a third that's kind of also creating frame. And then there's symmetry between the spacing on the sides of the walls. This is just, when I see a camera set up, when I see somebody taking a shot with their phone, I'm gonna put my camera right next to their phone. This is a cool ass photo of Xavier. Look at it, coming kitted. Look at him in front of the posters. Cool, I like it. More people, more shots of the attendees. Very cool. Oh, was that it? All right, well, that's it. That's 125 photos of Lorraine's interference in the holding room. I hope you enjoyed me reviewing, or I hope you enjoyed reviewing that along with me. I hope you're having fun. I'm really enjoying it. I could keep doing this. I could do this forever. So I'm going to. So come back soon. Subscribe, like, comment. If you have any pointers, if you have any advice, if you have any techniques that you've tried, I'm reaching out to the photography community. You know, I want to get better. If you see something that I could do better or that I could try differently in the moment, if you see something in the lights that you would have used them differently, shout out, man. I don't know everything. I want to know everything. It'll never happen. So I'm going to settle for knowing as much as I can. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Gomez. I'm a photographer.